Welcome back to The Wedding Buzz. It's your host, Sydney, and today I'm going to take you guys behind the scenes in a little day in the life story, because this past weekend, now I sound like Theo Vaughn, this past weekend I had two events in one day, and I want to walk you guys through how my team and I handled it without missing a beat, and just the reality of how much work goes on behind the scenes. I do want to say that I don't always do two events in one day. If it's a wedding, very, very, very slim chance that I would do two events in one day unless someone else on my team was the lead on a completely separate wedding. But this past weekend, I did have a baby shower and an 18th birthday party. So they were two semi-smaller events, and my team and I crushed it. We got through two events in one day. So I want to walk you guys through what went on behind the scenes to make sure that those two events happened. So let's start bright and early Saturday morning. I woke up at 5 a.m., got ready, and left the house by 6 a.m. to get to the first venue by 7 a.m. It was about a 45-minute drive away. So left at 6, arrived right at 7. At 7 a.m. at the venue, I met with a rental company who was there to deliver chairs and chargers and napkins. And then I met with the parents of the mom-to-be because she had some personal items that she wanted my team and I to set out for her. So got there at 7 a.m., met with the rental team, met with her parents, and got all of the items inside the room, and then setup started. So we had the tables were provided by the venue, but the rental company brought linens, chargers, napkins, and chairs. So we started setup. Then the hardest task of the morning was she wanted the napkins folded into the shape of a little bow with a napkin ring in the middle, which turned out so cute. But let me tell you that folding those napkins literally took my assistant and I an hour to do, which is why we always plan for extra time. I kind of thought it would take us maybe like half hour to fold all the napkins, but it took us a full hour. But we had extra time, so it was no big deal. Anyway, around, let me think, right around 7:30, the florist arrived to start doing, they did this beautiful backdrop with drapes and gorgeous floral arrangements. They had floral arrangements for each table for the centerpieces, and the mama-to-be had previously dropped off cute baskets that were in the shape of like a butterfly and the shape of a little baby carriage that the florist put flowers in, and those were the centerpieces, which was adorable. Check out our Instagram to see all the pictures of that, but it turned out adorable. So anyway, around 7:30, the florist arrived to start setting that stuff up while the rental team and I were putting out the linens, chargers, napkins, etc. Around 9:30, another company came to deliver a flower cart. So I guess I'll tell you the rental companies. So we had Nuage delivering rentals. We also had Atlas Party Rentals delivering some of the napkins, chargers, linens. Nuage and Atlas were doing all the tabletop rentals. Then we had AF Party Rentals. They delivered a cart, which we used for a flower bar. It was adorable. All of the guests got to make their own arrangements and take their flower bouquets home as the favor. So all the guests loved that. I highly recommend it. I will just say, it is kind of a lot of work to make all the bouquets, and I would definitely have someone in charge of helping your guests make the bouquets. But it's a very cute favor. All the women loved doing that. So anyway, backing up to around 9:30, that flower bar cart arrived, which then the florist, which was Ellie's Garden, they were able to put the flowers into the different buckets at the flower bar. The catering staff and the venue staff arrived right around 10, I want to say. And they finished setting the flatware on the table. We had already set the glassware that was from Atlas Party Rental. So they put the flatware out. They put out got plates ready to go, plates for the cake ready to go. And they started prepping everything on the back end, prepping the food to be ready when the guests arrived. Other than that, for prep, that was about it. It sounds really simple, but it did take us we started right at 7. The guests, the mom-to-be and the dad were arriving at 11 to take family photos prior. So it took us right up until around 10:45, I want to say, to get the room completely set, cleaned up, trash away, extra boxes packed away, everything ready to go. So right at 11, the photographer arrived, and then the family arrived, and they did, room shots before all the guests came. That was really important. Make sure that if you're having a photographer, that they come prior to your guests so that you're able to get beautiful photos of all of your tables, the full room, really the whole room, you want photos of everything before your guests come and put their purses down and their glasses down and ruin those beautiful photos. So make sure your photographer comes early. But the family arrived at 11 with the photographer. We got beautiful shots of the room, beautiful portraits of the family, which was just so nice to have. And then right at 11:15, I almost forgot, we had a live singer come. Her name was Mia. She was fabulous. She came and set up. And then right at 11:30, all the guests arrived. They mixed and mingled for a bit. We had past hors d'oeuvres. And then at 12:30, about an hour in, not everyone arrived right at 11:30. They started trickling in 11:30 to 12. They were mingling. Some of them started doing their flower bouquets, but then right at 12:30, we had a seated lunch. The food was amazing. It was plated, served lunch, great food. It was at the Polo Trace Country Club in Delray Beach, Polo Trace Golf Club. So beautiful food. They had lunch. And then right around 1:15, we cut the cake, served it, extra desserts came out. The ladies continued to do their flower bar bouquet at that station. They started playing games, and then the event concluded around 2:30. So don't forget that this walkthrough was 2 events in one day. So while one assistant and I were at this baby shower, I had another event going on. So the preparation for the second event started right around 1 p.m. I had someone on my team go to that event to be, my hands on deck for me, which my assistants have been to, plenty of events with me. They know the ropes. They know how it goes. This other assistant that I sent out is also a certified wedding and event planner, so I trust her fully. She's done weddings on her own for me before. So they were in great hands over there. But around 1 o'clock, while I was wrapping up the baby shower, she arrived at the next venue, which was the Loft at Congress, also in Delray Beach, or Boca Delray, East Boca Delray area. I think it's technically in Boca. I need to look, but that area of Congress, that is a great venue for parties, something like a Sweet 16, a bar mitzvah. This was an 18th birthday party. If you have a corporate event, it's technically like a warehouse that they've turned into a event space, and it's really cool. It's a really cool little hidden gem. So check out the Loft at Congress if you have an event that you're planning. Anyway, my team arrived there at 1 o'clock, which is when the decorators arrived. The venue already had the tables and the chairs set out with linens, and so the decorator came. They were bringing chargers, runners for the table, the floral arrangements. They did this beautiful backdrop with balloons. Again, check out my Instagram to see it. We had neon signs, a big lit up marquee 1 and 8 for 18, these big LED butterflies. I planned the whole thing and saw mock-ups of everything. And when I walked into that space, I was blown away. The decorator was Infinity Event Decor. They crush it every single time. They're like a family-run business, the nicest people you'll ever meet. So Also, if you need any rentals, decor, florals, Infinity Event Decor, shout out to them. I love working with them. So they came, set up everything. Oh, they did these big clear balloons, but they didn't really look like balloons. They looked like these big clear balls, but we hung a bunch of them from the ceiling over the dance floor, which was so cool. They like floated when the AC was flowing. They like floated around the room, and with the lights around the room, they kind of reflected off these clear balls, and it was really, really a cool, fun touch. So anyway, they arrived like right around 1:00, started setting up. And then I got to the venue. I left the first one at 2, went and grabbed some lunch on my way, and took a breather, took a little break in my car, and got to the second event right before 3:30. Right after I got there around, 3:45, the catering team arrived and they started prepping. All the ice was delivered, all the alcohol. The catering and bar team was Lily Catering. They did a fabulous job. So they started setting up the buffet, the bar station, and everything in the back that they needed. They brought all the food in. And then I'd say around 4:30, the DJ arrived and the photo booth team arrived. That was Absolute Entertainment, provided the DJ, the photo booth, and a big projector. We had a slideshow of photos of our birthday girl. So that was also very, very cool. So that team arrived around 4:30, started setting up, and everything was set up and ready to go by right around like 5:30, which is when our birthday girl and her family arrived. Oh, the photographer also arrived with me around, 3:30 or so. We actually rode together, which is the only reason she was there so early, but that was fine. She had time to sit, get her gear set up. She took some photos of behind the scenes of the setup and grabbed some content of everything. That was Kaylee Lauren Photography. So all the vendors arrived and had everything set up, ready to go right around 5:30. The family arrived, same thing. We did photos with the family, photos of the whole room set up before all the guests came, and party kicked off right at 6:30. Let me walk you through the actual event timeline. So party kicked off at 6:30. The bar was open. People mixed, mingled, got some pictures. We did a kickoff with the birthday girl. So we brought her out into the lobby, and then we did a double door entrance to I Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas. And we had a spotlight on her, and it was just such a fun way to like kick off the party. She ran in, she had this gorgeous gold sparkly gown on, and it was just such a moment. So that was around 7:15. Then we had everyone join her on the dance floor for about 10 minutes. And then during those 10 minutes of people dancing, I went to the back and said, hey, let's get buffet ready to go. So they brought out the food, and they had the buffet, like the big trays ready to go, but they placed the actual food, the hot food, in those trays. And then we sat everybody down and released them to the buffet. This party had about 75 people, because it was just an 18th birthday party, not a wedding. We didn't do like assigned tables and assigned seats. It was a little bit more laid back. So everyone went to the buffet. That was very smooth. The food was delicious. We had Italian food, nice meatballs, chicken marsala, such good food. Lily Catering is a great team, so easy to work with. So we sat down for dinner, then we did speeches. They had beautiful speeches. The whole family spoke, the mom, dad, her brother, her best friend, and then the birthday girl spoke. It was like really touching speeches, which was so cute. We did some special dances, daddy-daughter dance, and then she danced with some other special men in her life, her brother, her uncles. It was such a really sweet moment. And then dance party. Everyone was asked to join the dance floor, and man, they danced the night away. Fast forward a little bit, we did a chocolate fountain, which felt like so 2000s for me, which was so fun. I loved it, and it was a hit. Everyone loved the chocolate fountain. Then we had this beautiful birthday cake that Infinity Event Decor actually provided the birthday cake. A stunning birthday cake. Again, check out my Instagram, that fit the whole theme of like, it was all pink and green and butterflies, like kind of like garden fairy themed. Sang her a happy birthday, had the chocolate fountain, and they just danced the night away. And then we kept partying until 11 p.m. and then it was time for cleanup. So if you remember, I left my house at 6 a.m. This party ended around 11. By the time vendors cleaned up and I got out of there, it was around midnight, and I got home right around 1 in the morning. So it was definitely a full day. I don't usually do 2 events in one day, but since it wasn't a wedding, it was a baby shower and an 18th birthday party, I knew I could pull it off. Again, I had an assistant at the first event. I had an assistant at the second event who helped me during that overlap, and I knew I had a great vendor team, so I was in good hands, and we got everything done. It was such a smooth day. I was so happy, but that's what happens when you have a good vendor team and a good timeline and good plan in place, and everything was covered. And it was really such a great day. So it is possible to do 2 events in one day, but it takes a lot of work, a lot of prep, and you just have to have hands on deck. I had to have an assistant at the first one, and I had to have an assistant go early. She arrived there like 3 hours before I did to handle the rental deliveries, the cake delivery, and the initial setup of everything. So it is possible to do 2 events in one day. It is a lot of work. I am still tired, but everything went really smoothly simply because of a lot of planning, great vendor team, and a really good timeline. So I hope that it was fun for you guys to hear kind of the behind the scenes of what 2 events in one day looks like and how our team did that without missing a beat. But truly everything was so smooth sailing, that it was fun. It was really fun. And I always have a moment like kind of after dinner when everyone's partying of like, I'm so excited that this is my job. Like, it is just so fun. And after so much planning, to see it all come together and see your clients just like having a blast, after all the work that goes into planning and all the money well spent. So anyway, I hope that it's fun to hear kind of the behind the scenes. Check out Instagram for visuals of everything, of all the decor and everything. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.